right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies. Whew, okay. We had a short break and we are back. And this time, for our audience, we're not going to make you cry. We came to bring you a little bit of laughter. Well, I didn't, but our special guest did. And so we might not need, if you need tissue, it's because you're crying tears of joy and laughter for this one, right? So welcome back. Welcome back. We are here for the Mom in Me book launch celebration. Woo! Where you pom poms? Where you pom poms? Right. So we have been having a fantastic time today. The ladies have been sharing their stories. We thank you so much for continuing to tune in with us. And this evening or this afternoon right now, we have our special guest in the house. Let me tell you a little bit about her. As a former class clown, Tanya realized her talent to entertain, but never acted upon it until she attended a live Live Your Dreams event. While at this event, God revealed to her that she possessed a gift that would be used to honor him and impact the lives of others. Tanya has always used her sense of humor to capture the attention of others, as well as establish new relationships. Graced with the spirit of heaviness, this anointed woman of God has an incredible stage presence, a natural gift, bold confidence, and a great personality. You might find her cracking jokes anywhere or showing out at one of her performances. But today, she is here with us for the virtual book launch celebration of the Mom in Me, and she is here to make us laugh. And she definitely deserves some confetti. Welcome, Tanya Lewis. That was the crowd roaring.
Oh, thank you. Oh God, thank you.
You're
How y'all doing?
welcome.
How
We are
how everybody? I was
amazing.
trying to fix the screen so I could see everybody.
Oh, yeah, they're all here. Oh, wait, I
Oh,
got some more people trying to come in.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do it on the phone. Can you see us now?
Let me
Or you
see.
can only see me?
Yeah, I can see you. That's good enough.
That's good enough. I will laugh for everybody.
Oh, okay. No, it's cool. It's cool. But how everybody doing? I can hear. So that's
Okay.
fine. Thank you for having me here. I did catch a little bit of what y'all was doing earlier. So first of all, congratulations. Writing a book is a big project and a huge success. So congratulations to all the moms. I know y'all sat there and cried. Y'all celebrated and told your friends and shared it and everything. It's a big accomplishment, especially
Yes.
um when you have stuff bottled up inside and you think you try to forget it and everything, and God will bring it back to you, and you be like, all right, Lord, I wasn't trying to remember that, but He'll bring it back to y'all. But I thank you for being here. I didn't want to call out today, but let me tell y'all, I'm in a lot of pain today. I was in a
Oh.
hospital. Yeah, I don't like going. I remember I told you I was going to a wedding. Well, I'm not going anywhere
Oh.
today. I was in the hospital yesterday. I don't like going to the doctor. I don't like going to the nurse. I go to the hospital when there ain't no other choice. So I was in a car accident 2 days after my birthday, and
Mm.
it messed my back up. And I've been going to physical therapy, and I'm thinking physical therapy, I'm going to get some massages, or they going to rub me up and down. I'm going to feel good. Honey, when I tell you they got me lifting my legs in places, I was like, my legs ain't never been in all these positions. Lord have mercy. So, honey, I've been worse off going to physical therapy. So, I woke up yesterday morning and I couldn't walk. And so I was like, hold up. Now I'm going on Google and everything, and I'm like, all right, let me try to do that. And they said, oh, your kidneys. So I'm like, nope, I'm not going to take that. It ain't my kidneys. So, honey, when I tell you I'm Googling everything, I'm doing the heat pad. I'm doing everything to even get to the bathroom. I had to stop, drop, and roll myself in the bathroom. That's how much pain I was in. And I was
Wow.
like, man, about 9 o'clock, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to this doctor. But I had started taking medicine I had already started taking before. I don't know what I was taking. But I said, well, the doctor gave it to me before. It's going to work now. So I'm going to go back and I'm gonna take it again. I still was in pain, so I got down there to the hospital, and they was like, "Who your provider?" I said, "Look, baby, Jehovah Jireh, because that's who I put my trust in." And so I was like, "What have I been taking?" Because I'm still in pain. They was like, "Girl, you've been taking prenatal medicine." And I said, Prenatal. I said my youngest one is 19 years old. I know I don't need to be taking no prenatal medicine. I said that ain't the problem. So they had to do a couple of tests and everything, and wheeling me from the wheelchair for the bed and all this, and they gave me a shot of morphine. And I was like, hallelujah. Then I'm sitting there scratching, having side effects from that, and they was like, they gonna give me an MRI, and I was like, Lord, an MRI. And I was like, I do not walk around with the spirit of fear, but I walk around with the spirit of concern. And they was like, um, we got to do the MRI. It's based upon your weight and everything. And I said, well, hold up. I need to change my weight. Because when I checked in and did registration, they was like, what's your weight? And I told them 185 pounds. I said, well, that was in kilometers, ma'am. I need to go ahead and put the real weight down. So I had to change that, and all the concerns started arising up in my spirit. All the concerns came up because I'm looking at this machine, and I'm looking at me, and I'm like, "Well, how you gonna get all this up in that machine?" And so before I got in there, I was like, "Well, ma'am, we're gonna have to do a few trial runs." So I had them to put me in the machine. I had them to take me out. So we did that about 5 or 6 times, and it's like, Miss Lewis, are you ready for the procedure? And I said, "Ma'am, you should have taken them pictures while I was in there, because ain't no way that I'm getting back up in that machine." So I have to go back next week and have one on my back and my shoulder. So I'm not looking forward to that. And I was like, well, surely they can come up with some other procedure where I can sit in the chair. Y'all can come up with something where I ain't got to actually get in the machine. So I got to lose like 20 pounds so I can feel comfortable by next week so I can get in that machine. So y'all keep me lifted with that. But they gave me something called a Percocet. I'm not sure if y'all have ever taken a Percocet before. If you read the label, it says, "Do not operate a moving vehicle while taking the medicine." And I'm like, look, the devil is a lie. I got things to do, and I got across the look. I got halfway across the bridge where I live at. I hear something go doo doo doo. I'm thinking it's the police. It wasn't even the police. It was the ice cream truck, and I'm like, look, I just simply want to get back home. Cause the police, they pull you over all the time where I live at. I just moved to St. Mary's County, and when I tell you they pull you over, they pull you over. I got pulled over last week. Something I was doing 80 miles an hour. I said I wasn't even out here on the road an hour. I know that's a lie. Tell me why you speeding? I said, look, apparently I ain't see you. I'm trying to keep up with the flow of traffic. They tell me, Miss Lewis, you the only car out here. I said, you see how far behind I am. But it's definitely a blessing, even in the midst. The fact that y'all wrote a book in the midst of a pandemic. I have never ever been in a pandemic. I ain't know what no pandemic was. 'Cause if you watch the news, they will have you scared. They will have you terrified. I remember when I first started watching the news, they was like, go to the grocery store, prepare. We're not gonna be able to go out, see our loved ones, so just prep up and everything. I said, well, let me go ahead to this grocery store and get groceries so I don't have to go back out to be bothered with people. I'm just gonna sit in the house until this is over. And so I went and I spent like $300 in groceries preparing for this pandemic. I woke up the next day, grocery stores were still open. I said, well, let me take these groceries right back to this store. I ain't got time to be sitting here wasting no money. Saying that
No,
they
you
ain't got
didn't.
me all
No, you
pumped
didn't.
up and playing. I took all the groceries right back to the store. I said, look, I got receipts. I don't need none of this stuff. But man, it's been something else. We got to wear a mask, but it's been a blessing in the midst of the pandemic. A lot of people they've been complaining. I said, look, I've never seen where bill collectors have been like really working with you, telling you ain't had to pay no bills. I said, this is a blessing in the midst of this. I'm like, what? They ain't got a call. I told my friends, I said, look, my friends with bad credit. I said, this is the time to get your credit right. All you got to do is write down there to them people and tell them it wasn't you. Ain't nobody down there at the place to say it wasn't you because ain't nobody working. Because the bill collectors, I got laid off and they would call me. And then I remember one time, they first of all they call you unavailable. I'm like, look, if you unavailable, so am I. Because they will call you all the time, call you on three-way and everything. I remember one time, a couple years ago, when I got laid off, they called me and they had a guy call me. He was like, hello? And I was like, yes. And he was like, where you at? And I told him. And he sounded good. Then he called me. He was like, I got your car. And then called me and told me he had the car. And I said, well, the surprise on you, you got my kids too. They in the back seat. So he had to bring the car right on back to me. He had to bring the car right back to me. But God has been truly blessing me, even in the midst of how I feel right now physically. I'm like, spiritually, I'm like on a high. I just purchased my first home. So I'm all the way out here in
Yes.
Faith. Yes, so y'all clap it up. That honey, that was a long. Yeah, spread that. I don't know who's gonna get all that confetti up when you finish,
Me
but
either.
when you go ahead. Cause let me tell you, they had all kind of programs out here. I didn't know what I was gonna sign up for. It's like, look, if you got a 700 credit score, you can get a house with no money down. I said, well, thank you, God. And so I began to have my credit report pulled and all that, and meet the expectations for the no money down. And I said, well, you said a 700. So I didn't know they wanted the 700 on all the one credit score. I said, well, if you put it all together, it probably will be $700, 700. But I see y'all had Miss Cheryl Pullins on the one of the books. I love her. Let me tell you my story,
Oh.
Miss Cheryl. Yes. So when I first started doing comedy, I didn't have a website name. I didn't know what I was gonna be. And she's talking about you have to brand yourself. And I was like, I don't know what no brand. I don't know what no branding is or none of that. And when she posted that question, I was like, all right, cause I wanted some big name. My friends were like, cause I go by comedian Tanya Lewis, and they was like, you should be chocolate drop. I was like, I ain't gonna be no chocolate drop. I didn't know what I want. And I remember God said anointed to laugh, and I remember telling her, I said, well, that don't sound like it's funny. But as I started progressing in ministry and everything, when I tell you it's like, man, she really helped me and it's a blessing. So I want to thank Michelle for that. I didn't know what anointed to laugh meant until life started hitting me and God was able
Mhm.
to still anoint me to be able to make people laugh in the midst of my own problems. And y'all talking about the mom and me. A lot of people don't know it's a lot of work. There's no handbook nothing, no brochure on how to be a mom. We just get up and we just do it. And I was sitting there, I listened to some of the topics and everything. And I said, you picked me for this. And right now, in the season I'm in, me and my kids, we're not even talking. I'm seriously. They are it's like if you look at my life and you look at my kids' life, it's like we don't match. And I had to remember that God gave us these kids, and I have to remember. I got to remind God sometimes, like God, I'm a temporary person that you put in charge. I need you to come and see about these kids, because there's sometimes they make you want to go to jail, especially when they teenagers.
Mhm.
Lord, my
Mhm.
daughter when she was a teenager, that one man,
Mhm.
I thought I was going to jail for. I'm serious. They be rolling their eyes and all this. And my pastor every week, he be like, "Oh, that's a spirit." And I be like, "Well, how you hit a spirit? Because this one I'm going to jail for." I said, "I'm gonna just go ahead and start wearing orange all week because I'm going to jail." I started living like I was in jail. I said, I can't take this." And Lord, especially being a single parent. If you a single parent, that's an extended shout out go to you because Lord have mercy.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yes.
they don't understand the sacrifices we make.
Yeah.
And my father will always say, "You gonna reap what you sow." And I said, Lord, if I was a bad child, I'd have reaped everything I'd have done with these kids because they just be making some crazy questions. And now we got to be home with them. Lord, they done shut the school down. We calling the schools. I don't know how many of y'all calling the school every day. Every day, just calling the school. Y'all open yet? What's going on? When y'all gonna open? But I realized, I said they shut the school down, but the parking lot is still open. You know, you still can go sit in that parking lot until the end of the day running in and the house, running in and out of the house all day. They want to eat up all the food, and you got to be like, look, if you home with your child, don't let them eat up all the food. But like, look, what time is lunch? Lunch is 11 o'clock at school. Then lunch need to be 11 o'clock at the house. You know, 'cause we going back. Cause you know, when we grew up, things were different. First of all, you could beat your kids. Now the kids they come to you. My daughter said, if you hit me, you know I can call CPS. I said, you know what? You call CPS, you gonna need CPR. So you make a decision. Back in the day, you could hit anybody, kid. You can go and get hit at anybody's house. Walk past Sally's house, she can hit
Mhm.
you. Mildred, she can hit you. Now they got all kind of options. I said, well, what's the statute of limitation on the beating? Because in that case, my mom and my grandma would be in jail right now for hitting me. So they don't know nothing about abuse. They got it made. So my daughter, she got her first stimulus check. Went out with the iPhone Pro. Spent $1,500 on the iPhone Pro. Owe me money. Yeah, open your mouth
Wow.
because I still got my mouth open. And look, she bought that phone for $1,500. Then she texted me, said, "My mom, I got the phone. I ain't want to rain on her parade." I'm like, "Congratulations, baby. Can I get my money?" And then she texted me. She told me I'm hungry. I said, "You better eat the apple off the back of that phone because you definitely ain't getting no money from me." Then the other one, I wanted him to go to the military. Lord, I try to sign them up, but apparently the kids got to sign themselves up because I'm like, look, they tell me they looking for a few good men. I said, me too. I said, you need to come out and get this one. But kids when they were younger, because look, especially being a single parent, after church, I would take my kids out to eat. And I tell them, I said, look, when we go in this restaurant, you 7 years old. And I run it by him 3 times. And he tell me, I'm 15. I said, well, now you hungry. So you got a choice to make. But they come up with this cash app now, and it's a blessing when you receiving money. But I think my kids got like an alarm on my cash app, like they know when I get money, so they keep sending me cash app requests, and I gotta block them on cash app. Then they'll go, they creative, they'll make up a new name and come back as somebody else. He
Oh
done
my
created a
gosh.
name from Slim Thug. I said, I don't know who no Slim Thug is. I had to block that too. Someone let me get some money. I said, look, baby, all I have are big bills. He said, well, let me get one of them big bills. I sent him the electric bill. I said, here you go. Now that's a big deal. They don't understand. And then the ones that left, they want to come back home. And now I got this house by myself. And he told me, "Oh, God is over here blessing you." I said, "No, he ain't. Don't look at this. He ain't blessing me. I just ain't want. I'm over here house sitting because I'm like, look, I ain't want them to come back home." My daughter, she done found the scripture. Talking about, I can stay at home until I get married. It's somewhere in the Bible. I said, look, I ain't get that far yet. You need to go ahead. Uh, they find scripture to fit their own needs when they're a certain age. Well, children are definitely a blessing, seriously. No matter how we got them, how they got here, they say children are a blessing. I'm like, mine are a lesson. I'll never, ever, ever do that again. And and like I said, God has been blessing. Even in this pandemic, some of us have the option to work from home. I thank God. I was out working a full-time job before the pandemic, and I actually got laid off. Now I asked God. I was sitting at home, and I said, you know what? I want to go back to work. I'm tired of just sitting in the house, so I want to go to work. And when I say he moved fast on my behalf, he moved fast on my behalf. Last thing I know, I was in the office. I'm like, hi, how may I help you? And I didn't want to quit that job, so I had to wait until God released me from that job. So I was out sick, and when I came in that Monday, they was like, "Well, we're gonna let you go." When I said, "Thank you, God," and they was like, "You not upset?" I said, "No," because they had all kind of rules and regulations on the job. Some if you want to leave this job, you got to give a 2 week notice. I said, look, 2 weeks from now, you're gonna notice I ain't been here because they had all kind of rules. Some we have to always find you, Miss Lewis. You always walking around. We have a hard time keeping up with you. I said, well, I read somewhere that a good worker was hard to find. So I thank God he released me from that. So now I get to be on Zoom, which is whole different ballpark. I've been trying to get my grandmother to get on Zoom, and she talking about how I get on Zoom. So this is a whole different way that we are able to meet now. I'm over here now trying to click a button to get back on here.
You there? We
This
see
is
you.
blessed.
Well, I see
You
you.
see, I'm over here sitting there trying to click buttons and everything. I like to okay now I can see people. I like to see what everybody look like now. I can see. I see Miss
Oh, can you
Mary.
see us? Okay.
Yeah, I can see y'all now. I had to go ahead. This pandemic,
Yay.
look, when they shut down, look, I had some hair in my head before this pandemic, right? And they shut down all the beauty supply stores. And I said, but the one by my house where I used to live was still open. I said, look at God. He held it open just for me. I'm going to go home, shampoo my hair, take this hair out, and I'm going to go ahead and go back to the beauty supply, give me some hair. I'm going to be cute in this pandemic. They ain't going to mess up my stuff. I went back the next day. They didn't shut the supply store down. I was oh my God. So now I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God. But PetSmart, they seem to have stayed open. So
That's
I was like,
smart.
well, they doing PetSmart. They were doing grooming. They was getting the nails done and everything. I said, I'm gonna go up at PetSmart get my stuff done. 19.99. I just changed my name to Feet. But when this first happened, the pandemic happened, I was actually out of town in Atlanta. And if anybody ever been to Atlanta airport, you gotta have a whole armor guard to get to that airport. You gotta take the A train to the B train to the C
Yes.
train just to get your luggage. I said, look, I ain't got time to be chasing no luggage. Next time I go to Atlanta, I'm gonna wear all my clothes on the plane at the same time. And so now they did change the rules and regulations where now you could only travel with 8 ounces of lotion. And so at the time I had 16 ounces of lotion, and they was like, well, Miss Lewis, you gonna have to put the lotion in the trash. And I said, no, I'm not. I done paid all this money for this lotion. This lotion going on the plane. They said, well, we gotta put it in the trash so you can't get on the plane. I said, all right, well, I gotta get back home. So I had to stop out of line, put all that lotion on at the same time. And so now I'm smelling good. So I done set the security off, and they tell me we gonna have to search it. And I'm like, I gotta get on this plane, hurry up before I can so I can go back home, and they gonna search me. So here come this little lady coming out, telling me she gonna search me, and I'm like, what is this little lady gonna do? But honey, let me tell y'all, when I tell you there's a blessing on the other side of your obedience, I look to the left. Here come this tall, fine chocolate brother telling me he gonna have to search me. I said, yes, Lord. I said, oh my God. He said, put your hands up. I was like, yeah. And I put my hands up. He said, not like that, ma'am. I said, okay. And I said, look, I began to surrender. I said, search me, Lord. If you find anything that not pleasing to your sight, honey, he started patting me down and patting me down. I was like, yes, Lord. Search me, Lord. So I had to go through that whole horrific situation. It was just so devastating to me to have that man search me like that. And I look back, and my friend that travels with me, she had the rest of the lotion. And I said, well, they going to search her too. I don't want her to go through that because I'm my sister's keeper. So I don't want her to go through what I went through. So I stepped out of line and went and got the lotion from her. And I had to go through that whole thing again, right? And I said, my God. I said, this is exactly what the pastor mean when they talk about on Sunday, when they talk about double portion. I said, oh, this is a double portion right here. I said, press down, shaking together. I said, Lord, so I had to go through that again. So I'm trying to rush and get on the plane to get back home. And it's a line going around the building to get on the plane. And the lady, she looked at me. She said, come here, come here. And I'm like, what? I said, I need to get on the plane. She said, girl, you know if you're pregnant, you can get on the plane first, right? Like I said, I know she ain't talking to me. Now I'm a pastor kid, so I had to look around, make sure I ain't see nobody from the church. I said, I know she is not talking to me. And she's like, yeah, if you're pregnant, you can get on this plane. I said, first of all, I'm not pregnant. Then I said, hold up. I said, you mean to tell me if I'm pregnant, I can get on this plane before anybody else on here? And she was like, yeah. And you can sit in first class. I said, what? I said, who am I to block her blessing? Man, I put my hand on my back. I said, ma'am, thank you. You definitely hear from God. I said, these twins have been kicking my butt all day long. I was like, oh my gosh. Thank you, ma'am. You truly made my day. And she's like, you having twins? I was like, yes. And she's like, what you gonna name them? I said, Grace and Mercy, baby. Grace and Mercy. I said, Lord have mercy. So I got to ride first class. I said, oh, this belly is a blessing. My God, Lord, I thank you. I'm sitting on the plane and everything, and all the parents they sharing sonograms or pictures, giving out due dates. Here they go looking at me. I'm like, oh Lord. They tell me when are you due? I said, ma'am, as soon as I get off this plane, Lord, I thank you. So now if you got a big belly, they let you fly first class on Southwest. So I'm like, thank God for that. So
Oh.
God has just been working things out on my behalf. I want to encourage y'all to go out here and vote. My pastor, he tell us every week. He don't talk about people. He encourages us to pray for the president. No matter who's in charge, at the end of the day, God is in charge. And I started watching the debates and everything because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and watch the debate. I'm gonna pray for him. But I really started interceding when I started watching the debate a couple weeks ago. And I don't walk around in fear, but I told you I do walk around in concern. And I started watching the debate, and I was like, hold up. I said, we got the same hairstyle. I'm gonna have to go ahead and change my. And he told me he putting walls up in China. He putting walls up in Japan. I said, Lord, I can't have him to put no walls up there, 'cause that's where I get my hair from, and I can't have him to block my blessings. Some of he putting that stuff up there. But
Get
I
her
said,
hair
Lord.
from.
That's exactly where I get my hair from. Look, how many of y'all ladies order online during this pandemic? When I say I've been on Amazon, I've been ordering stuff online. And you can't order on Facebook because Facebook will set you up. I order on Amazon, but
Every time.
let me tell you, so I ordered like 3 outfits, and it's like $15 for 3 outfits. I was like, oh, they marking prices down because we're in a pandemic. So I got the outfit, and I was gonna put one on to wear to the wedding night when I was gonna go. But I'm like, I'm in pain. I ain't going nowhere tonight. Unless they zoom it. And so it was a jumper, and it said one size fit all. So I got in the jumper, and I couldn't even get out. So I told my son, I said, look, I need you to help me get out of this. He said, I don't think it fits. I said, oh, the spirit of offense about to take over. I said, this thing said one size fit all. I mean, they had my stuff in customs. It took about 6 months to get that stuff to my door. So when I finally got the outfit, it was in a small package. And I was like, oh my gosh, all right, big things come in small packages, but this is an exception. Honey, I had to put anointing oil on, baby oil, Crisco oil just to get out of that jumper. I jumped in the jumper and couldn't get out. So they don't realize, men don't realize we go through a lot of things to look good, especially makeup wise. We will draw. I got a friend. She would shave her eyebrows off, then she draw them on. She draw them on the wrong side. And I'm all for the makeup artist because I have one. But sometimes I'm like, hold up. Sometimes, especially when we get in church and we start sitting in church and get all hot and stuff, and we start wiping our face and we forget we done drew an eyebrow on, and now we done come out looking suspicious and everything because we done wipe one off. I know I done had that happen. I done had that happen a lot of times. I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna even draw it on right now. I'm just gonna go ahead. Then I ordered a wig online. When I tell you, when I got that wig, it ain't even fit my head. I said, I don't know if it's a ponytail or a toupee. So I just stick to Amazon, and Amazon will have you sitting at home bored. So it's good that y'all done wrote a book and collaborated. I'm definitely gonna support y'all and buy a book.
Oh.
And I was sharing with Miss Kimberly. Serious, I was sharing with Miss Kimberly. I said, Lord, I'm in the season right now. Y'all pray for my kids, cause Lord, I gotta be reminded of the prodigal son. How our kids, they just went out and they did what they want to do, but God always lead them home. So y'all be encouraged. I'll share my story with y'all. I was raped at 18 years old. I was raped, and I had my daughter. First of all, I did a stage play, and you know how God had you do something and you don't want to do it, and you argue with God. Like I'm sure she asked y'all to share about the book, and half of y'all was like, I don't like these kids. What I got to write about them for? So, but sometimes there's some days where me and my kids we be going through it, and I be like, oh my God, and they be like, Mom. I said, oh, they talking to me, because it's just like I've been through so much. A lot of my trials have been with my kids. I've been homeless with my kids. I've had to put my kids in boys' home, and they don't understand the sacrifices and things that we have to do until they become parents. So I was writing my stage play, and one of my family members was like, "We're gonna sue you." They were trying to get some money, and I'm like, "Well, ain't got no money. You just be practicing if you're gonna be suing." So
Practicing.
we we went so we went through that ordeal, and I was raped with my daughter,
Mm.
and I got married when she was 1, and every time I was going to tell her about it, something always happened. She would cut herself, or she would do something where it wasn't to the point where I could tell her. Well, my aunt told my daughter. So when I tell you all havoc broke loose. But when they say what the enemy meant for, what the devil meant for evil, God would turn it around for your good. So she had me up in counseling. And when I tell you I walked around, she found out my daughter's 24. She found out when she was 22. When I tell you I walked around for 22 years in shame, I'm going around the world making people laugh, traveling.
Wow.
But I was walking around feeling shameful. I was walking around feeling pitiful, embarrassed. I mean, I just walked around like, okay. During the day, I'm laughing. At night, I'm depressed. I mean, to the point where I'm like, how am I hide this child? I mean, I just came up with all kind of excuses and reasons. And it came out, then it brought us closer together, then it
Wow.
separated us when to the fact where she had a grandchild. I'm not even allowed to see the grandchild. So when I tell y'all I was sitting there listening to some of y'all stories and stuff, y'all ain't gonna have me sitting over here crying. Y'all like really encouraged me. So if I really
Oh.
like did the research, I probably wouldn't even came on here and did this. Cause I was like I was to the point where I was healed. Cause you know sometimes we act like we healed, and then God have a way of bringing it out, and we really ain't healed. So y'all really blessed me, seriously.
Wow.
So I want to thank you. So at the time you thinking I'm blessing y'all, you blessing me, and I know she gonna
Wow.
come around when that child start walking around and tearing up stuff. She gonna call me. She gonna call. So I just want to encourage y'all. I ain't can't buy. I don't never say I'm broke, but I'm in between blessings right now. I would buy a book from everybody, but I would like to get a autographed copy from you all because that is a major accomplishment to share so many things that we go through as being a parent. Because there is no handbook. It's like a daily walk with God. You got to ask questions, and since we can't beat the kids and stuff now, we really got to pray what to do with these kids. So
Mhm.
I just want to thank you, Miss Kimberly. I like the way your name is spelled. It's definitely different. So you
My
shouldn't have too
mother's
many.
idea of creativity.
Shouldn't have too many people trying to steal your identification.
Nope.
So Lord, I had somebody try to steal mine. They came and brought it back one time. They were sitting on the step. I said, "Who are you?" They was like, "Well, I used to be you." I done had people because a name like mine, they didn't try to steal my identification. So that's a blessing.
Oh,
Miss Sure, I love you. I gotta come to Florida and visit you. Well, after COVID over, right now I can't be visiting people. But they talking about COVID in the air and stuff, and they didn't know if it's in the air on the surface and stuff. And I said, y'all need to make up your mind if it's in the air on the surface. And I don't open my mouth and to get it by mouth and everything. Now we gotta wear these masks and everything. And I was like, I'm trying to. This is the first time I'm able to wear lipstick, just sitting in the car and not being around people. Cause the mask take it all. So
yep.
Lord. But y'all are looking good. Congratulations. And I pray for
Thank
y'all
you.
success in this book.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
Thank you, thank
welcome.
you, thank you. Y'all give it up for Miss Tanya Lewis, comedian Tanya Lewis. Yay! Wait a minute, wait a minute. We gotta let her exit with some confetti.
Oh,
Yay!
that's pathetic.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. That was such a blessing. We needed that laugh for sure, for sure. All right, ladies, thank you. And our guest, let's see who is joining us for this. I saw some comments earlier. If I get back to the page real quick. Let's see. Oh, people are rolling on the floor laughing. How LaShonda said, OMG, how many of us would be in the military if our mama could sign us up? Oh, awesome. People like the PetSmart one too. I didn't think of that. This was great. Thank you so much. So Veronica, Eugenia, Janelle, Debbie, so many of you guys, Shaniqua, LaShonda, so many of you guys here hanging out with us. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. And of course, we cannot leave without having another giveaway. So who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready? Look, you hear the spinner? And what we giving away this time? We are giving away, look, because look, nothing makes us happier than hearing a comedian make us laugh. But what makes us even happier is some cash. So this raffle is for a $50 Visa gift card. So who is going to be the lucky winner for that? Let's see. All right, let's pop it open. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Make sure I only got one. Ain't nothing stuck together, right? Okay. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Oh, I closed me back up. All right. You guys know. Stay right there. Okay, our lucky winner is Blair Freeman, submitted by Kelly Garrett. Freeman Garrett. Let's see. Blair Freeman. You are the lucky winner of the $50 Visa gift card. So either inbox me or Kelly, get me the information for Blair so that we can get this gift card out in the mail. All right, ladies. So we are headed for our next break, and then we will be back with you at, I believe, 4:30, right? Let me just double check, make sure I don't tell nobody the wrong time. Okay, we are back at 4:30, and we have with us five of the authors. We have Lorraine Williams, Mary Merle, Teresa Deborah Reed, Felicia Roberts, and Kelly Freeman Garrett are joining us at 4:30. So that's what time we'll be back, ladies. So meet us back here for another round for you to meet the authors. And remember, head on over to Amazon and purchase your copy of The Mom in Me, bit.ly/Mom in Me book. All right, guys, we'll see you back here at 4:30. Take care. Bye-bye.